It's almost 2 years since we've been back.
And it's been so much fun.
So to celebrate, it's time for a joke.
Right. So what do you call a pile of kittens?
A meowton.
At least we didn't say a funny joke.
I thought it was funny.
It begins. Hi! Welcome to the history of Toonami. I'm your host, Bad Girl, and on tech we have... Oh, so we're going by our character names. Okay, so, scratch that. Welcome to the history of Toonami, hosted by Itsugaya and Neliel. Okay, so who watches Toonami every Saturday night? Or when you can?
I don't do much of my life.
Good. The rest of y'all suck. So, how old is Toonami? Does anyone in this room know before I give it away? Not quite 20. Getting close though.
It started in the 1990s.
What?
It's legal.
About 15?
It came out in 1998. I want to say.
Close.
94.
Toonami premiered on March 17th, 1997.
Year off.
And the original host of Toonami was Moltar. First
Space
picture.
Ghost.
Yes, Moltar was the first host of Toonami. Now, for those of you that don't know, Moltar is the villain of the Space Ghost. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm trying to find the original Space Ghost. Like, he first appeared in the original Space Ghost cartoon of like the 60s, but then Space Ghost Coast to Coast is when he became like the tech booth kind of thing, and they kind of took that from Space Ghost Coast to Coast and made him the tech of Toonami. And as you can see, he's not the cartoon rendition, but it's actually more of a CGI. And for 97, it wasn't too bad. Moltar's looking pretty sexy right there.
Beast Wars.
Beast Wars. Anyway, Toonami was broadcast by Moltar from Ghost Planet Industries, which is the building that Space Ghost Coast to Coast also broadcast from. And Moltar was voiced by C. Martin Crocker. Is it Crocker? It's Crocker, right? I don't know. I don't care. He's voiced by C. Martin Crocker, who also voices him in Space Ghost Coast to Coast. Now, pretty much when Toonami first came on, it was an opportunity to bring audiences to more of a over-the-seas kind of animation. Now, originally, it only had one anime in its block, and that was Voltron. But it also had Thundercats and The Real Adventures of Johnny Quest. And that's what it started with, and it was good.
And then it got celebrated.
Yes, I'm getting to that. Don't tell me how to run my own panel. Shut up. Exactly. Even though I don't have a Bankai, because I didn't have enough time to finish it. I have it for MechaCon, whatever.
We'll be there.
So in addition to the over-the-seas kind of Japan animation broadcast on Toonami, Moltar also had an introduction to the block, and there was commercial bumpers where he would talk before going to commercial and then again coming back from commercial. And there was also one lecture by Moltar about reruns, because apparently the audiences were getting upset that they kept rerunning episodes of Johnny Quest over and over. And Moltar was like, look, this is how it works. All right, in order to show new episodes, they gotta make new episodes. And they don't make new episodes as fast as we can show them. So we show reruns, deal with it. Now, under Moltar's reign, the shows that were broadcast on Toonami were The Real Adventures of Johnny Quest, Thundercats, Voltron, Beast Wars, Dragon Ball Z, the Ocean Group version, Robotech, Sailor Moon, the Deke version, and the Super Friends. Now, so Moltar ran Toonami for just over 2 years. Moltar retired on July 9th, 1999. And who would pick up the pace for Toonami? Why, none other than everybody's favorite robot? Tom, that's right. Hey, look how cute he is. It's like a baby picture. Look how small. It's like a massive head, massive belt. He's like an adorable little robot midget. Look at him. Oh, those days were so nice.
He's like Victor Man with limbs.
Exactly. So Tom 1, as he was originally at the time, he was just called Tom. He wasn't called Tom 1 until Tom 2 came along. But for this 101, we'll go ahead and call him Tom 1. Now, Tom 1 premiered the day after Moltar's retirement on July 10th, 1999. Anybody know what Tom stands for?
No, I could not tell.
I'll tell you. Toonami Operations Module. The more you know. Yay!
Now let's go kick Grover's butt.
Now, as you can see, Tom 1 was a very short robot, barely pushing, I think, not even like 2.5 feet, 3 at the most. I'd say the most 3 foot tall. And he has a nice little gut there, but that's where all his circuits are. But you know, it makes sense because he just sat on his robot ass and watched cartoons all day long on his spaceship. So,
The man has a nuclear reactor in his stomach.
yeah, I mean, if you watched cartoons all day, every day, wouldn't you kind of look like that too? Yeah.
Excellent.
I do look like it's not
Well, there you go.
Oh, I did.
Honestly, he looks like he's wearing one of those baby floaty things.
Now that you mention that,
But see, that's so he can swim in space.
This space bull.
Now, Tom 1 was voice acted by Sonny Strait. Sonny Strait is licensed under Funimation, and you probably better know him for the voice talents of the Funimation roles of Krillin from Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball GT, Usopp from One Piece, and Lupin III. Tom 1 broadcast Toonami from his spaceship called the Absolution. And also during Tom's, I get tongue-tied when I talk too fast, I'm sorry. During Tom 1's broadcast of Toonami, it wasn't just, they had the weekday broadcast, but he also introduced the Midnight Run and the Rising Sun. The Midnight Run was a 1-hour block taking place late at night, I think like neighborhood of 11 p.m., midnight, 1 a.m., depending what part of the United States you lived. And then the Rising Sun was Saturday morning, so you got your Saturday morning's cartoon in there as well. Now, Tom 1 also had introductory animations for opening Toonami, and also he did the commercial bumpers just like Moltar did before and after. But it was Tom 1 who started the motivational speeches. Now, Tom 1 only had 5, as opposed to later Toms who would have many more than that. And Tom's 1 speeches included lectures on anger, brains versus brawn, courage, individuality, and experience. So Tom knows his credit. Now also, see, Tom didn't broadcast Toonami alone. He had help. And that help was S.A.R.A. This is S.A.R.A. version 1.0, or as I like to call her, Zordon's sister. Now, S.A.R.A. is the Absolution's computer AI. She stays inside the computer, and she talks to Tom a lot of times during the bumpers, and sometimes they argue. Yeah, she frequently criticizes Tom as well, so it's kind of like a love-hate kind of relationship, as far as computers and robots can have relationships. I don't judge. Now, this S.A.R.A. 1.0 was voiced by Sally Timms, and that's pretty much her only credible talent, to be honest. Sorry, Sally. And the animes, or shows rather, because not all these are animes, to premiere under the reign of Tom 1 include Dragon Ball Z, the Funimation version, Reboot, Ronin Warriors, The Powerpuff Girls, Batman the Animated Series, Blue Submarine number 6,
I cannot find that.
G-Force Guardians of Space, Gundam Wing, Sailor Moon the Cloverway version, Superman the Animated Series, Tenchi Muyo, Tenchi Universe, and Tenchi in Tokyo. Now sadly, Tom 1's departure from the Absolution and as the host of Toonami was quite a tragic one. It was within an animated special called The Intruder, which premiered September 22nd, 2000. And during this special, a giant red blob boards the Absolution and starts devouring it from the inside out. Tom tries to confront it, fails a couple times, until finally he tries to shoot it with a gun, a ray gun, continuously, and the intruder eats the ray and then devours Tom.
What are you all?
What now? What now? Sarah's like, oh, I got this. I'll just wake up Tom 2, who I conveniently have in a pod on the Absolution. So Tom awakens as Tom 2, and there he is. Now, Tom 2 was sexy. Look at that, look at those abs, oh my god.
They're built, dude.
I'd ride those robot parts any day.
You know what I'm saying?
So, what? Raise your hand if you ride that robot part. Thanks for making me feel awkward. Dick. Alright, so as a drastic resort, Tom 2 had to blow up the entire, pretty much almost half of the Absolution, but rather, pretty much the Absolution, I wish I could include a picture of the Absolution, but I didn't. I was stupid and didn't. But the Absolution has the living quarters and then 2 giant engines. The intruder had attacked one of the engines, so Tom 2 blew off that engine. So now Absolution, rid of the intruder successfully, but is now flying through space with only 1 engine. So Tom needed some new ones, and he tried to order some. The same engine wasn't there anymore, and the repairman robot guy thing gave him 3 choices, which marked the first time Toonami ever included fan participation. Because of the 3 engines that were presented to Tom in the show, fans could vote which one they liked the most. And fans voted for the Talon ST models to be attached to the Absolution. Now, as you can see, Tom 2 was taller and sleeker, and his color scheme is also a lot different. No longer is he dominantly silver with blue highlights. He's now like a very dark, I want to say dark gray, almost black, but not quite there, with silver. So he's sexy. Now, no longer does Sonny Strait voice Tom, and Tom 2 marks when the voice acting of Steve Blum began. And a lot of you know Steve Blum because he's a legend in the voice acting world, because he loaned his voice to Spike Spiegel of Cowboy Bebop, Mugen of Samurai Champloo, Roger Smith of Big O, and both Zabuza and Orochimaru in Naruto. And to this day, Steve Blum continues to voice Tom. Now, this Tom also had introduction, commercial bumpers, and motivational speeches. However, this was the first Tom that did video game reviews. I believe his first, it was like the Xbox versus GameCube versus PS2 era that the reviews began. Yes, yes. And animes well, I keep saying animes, but they're not all animes. I got shows that premiered under the ruling of Tom 2 include Batman Beyond, Card Captors, Dragon Ball, Gundam 0008, Gundam 08 MS Team, Mobile Suit Gundam, Outlaw Star, The Big O, The New Batman Superman Adventures, Zoids, G Gundam, G.I. Joe, Hamtaro, He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, Samurai Jack, Transformers Armada, and the classic Zoids. It's weaker than the Zoids. Now, also under the reign of Tom 2, in addition to The Intruder, there was also 2 more specials called Lockdown and Trapped in Hyperspace. Excuse me while I fix my hair, because that's important. For Lockdown, it premiered September 2001, and the Absolution got trapped in a junkyard tractor beam, and automatic operations were shut down. Now, before the Absolution was shut down, Tom was able to release a couple hundred DocBots to investigate. Well, all these DocBots were now offline from the Absolution. But S.A.R.A. had a very good idea. S.A.R.A. was like, hey, Tom, how about we grant the fans manual override to each individual DocBot, and they can investigate the junkyard and see what's going on. And that's exactly what it did. On Toonami.com, there was a virtual game where you take control of one of the DocBots and you investigate this junkyard ship that mysteriously has a tractor beam. And then after all the DocBots kept reporting to S.A.R.A., it was revealed that there was this giant, huge robot, like freaking 30 feet tall, that was just being a douchebag. Yeah, he's like, I'm just gonna mess up all y'all because I can. Because my grandmother was a Teddy Ruxpin. So they, the fans, they all still controlling the DocBots. They had to take out this giant robot, and as they continued watching the lockdown bumpers on Toonami, S.A.R.A. would give them codes to enter into the game that would upgrade their DocBots with better defenses, better weapons, and be able to kick more ass. So, in the other special, Trapped in Hyperspace, which premiered September 2002, Tom 2 had to single-handedly rescue S.A.R.A. and the Absolution from a hacker. See, as they're traveling in hyperspace, a hacker seized control of both S.A.R.A. and the Absolution, and Tom had to pretty much do a manual override, blah, blah, blah. He was a hero, because Tom is awesome. Which brings us to the end of Tom 2.
Oh god, I don't like where this is going.
No, not yet. I know what you're talking about, but we're not at that part yet. I'll let you know when we're at that part. It's okay. You can breathe. There's still more time. On March 14th, 2003, an online comic was released called Endgame. And in this online comic, there was an alien named Ocelot Rex who breaks into the Absolution, hacks and downloads S.A.R.A., and then destroys the Absolution. Now, Tom 2 was able to escape the explosion, and he enters Ocelot's ship and attempts to rescue S.A.R.A. But he is defeated by Ocelot Rex, ripped to pieces, and then thrown into the trash compactor to just rot and never exist again. Don't worry, because inside of Ocelot's trash compactor also existed an enslaved race of small, kind, and high-intelligence aliens called the Dronomechs. The Dronomechs being witness to what Tom had gone through, gathered the pieces of Tom 2, grabbed more pieces from inside the trash, and then rebuilt Tom 2 into Tom 3. So Tom reawakens as Tom 3, goes up to the control room, kills Orsalot, rescues S.A.R.A., frees Dronomex, and takes ownership of Orsalot's ship, deeming it the Absolution 2. Go Tom. Now this Tom is the tallest, the biggest, and the buffest of all the Toms. Interestingly enough, he's the first Tom to have 5 fingers. Toms 1 and 2 only had 4 fingers. This Tom also did the introduction, the commercial bumpers, motivational speeches, and the video games continued. Now, on April 17th, 2004, just a little more than a year later, S.A.R.A. got a redesign as S.A.R.A. version 2.0. Go. There she is. Drastic changes went under for S.A.R.A. No longer was she stuck inside the computer monitor. She was now a free-roaming hologram that would just eerily float next to Tom and watch the shows that way. Also, interestingly enough, this version of S.A.R.A. looks very young. The original S.A.R.A. looks, like a grown woman. This one looks maybe like, what, 12?
At least give her that. At least make her 14.
Okay, we'll make her 14, but look at those eyes. They're just staring into your soul. Also, excuse me, go back to Tom 3. Now, what's also interesting about Tom 3 is that he had the longest existence of all the Toms. This Tom hosted Toonami for 4 years. And he got an additional year in 2012, but we'll get to that later. Now, shows to premiere under the reign of Tom 3. This is a very long list because it spans 4 years. Cyborg 009, Dygard, Dragon Ball GT, Gigantor, thank you, Dot Hack Sign, the Justice League. Now, I don't even remember this next one. Martian Successor Nadesky.
Whoa, really?
Really? I don't even recall that one. I have no recollection whatsoever.
Martian Successor Nadesky.
Yeah, it aired on Toonami, yes. Like, maybe. That's right, Midnight Run was still going on during Tom 3. Neo Genesis Evangelon. Rurouni Kenshin. Star Wars The Clone Wars, the 2-dimensional version. SD Gundam. That was adorable. Zaku Zaku Hour was the best thing ever. Yes, it is. Captain Gundam was my homie. Yes.
Let me make this guy go like 6.
You do your check thing. I'm the one in nuts. Yeah. Your opinion sucks. Yu Yu Hakusho. Astro Boy, the reboot, not the original, 2003. Duel Masters. Gundam Seed. Jackie Chan Adventures. Justice League Unlimited. Megas XLR. Rave Master. Teen Titans. The original, yes. Transformers Energon. Bo. Hot Wheels Acceleracers. I don't know. That was a short run, I think. Dice. Dragon Ball Z Uncut. IGPX. Naruto. One Piece, the 4Kids version. That's better. The Batman. The Batman. That's the name of the show. The Batman. Transformers Cybertron.
Yes!
Yu-Gi-Oh! Zatch Bell. The Fantastic Four.
Which one are they?
Just says Fantastic Four. Mar. Pokemon Battle Frontier. Pokemon Chronicles. The Prince of Tennis. Wooland Warriors. Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. Now, sadly, see, we all love Tom 3. Tom 3 is a handsome devil. And for reasons that very few can explain, on March 10th, 2007, with no transition story to speak of whatsoever, Toonami gets a complete redesign, including Tom. Presenting Tom 4. The other way. Why would you insult S.A.R.A. like that? What's wrong with you, man? The one after S.A.R.A. 2.0.
I don't want to go there.
You have to. He's part of the history. We must I'm sorry, guys, but he's part of Toonami's history. I'm sorry, we have... Tom 4. He is taller than Tom 1, but shorter than Tom 2 and 3. Unlike the previous Toms, no longer is his robotic armor shiny and neat looking. It is now rusted and worn.
He's a junkie on.
The visor look has been dropped. This is the first Tom to actually have a face with animated eyes and mouth. This is the first time Tom actually speaks with the voice that Steve Blum has bestowed upon him. Now, I'm going to get some stones for this, but you know what? I don't have a problem with Tom 4. I know he looks different, but I kind of like him because he's different. I'm not saying he's better than the other Toms. He's not. He's the weakest design of all the Toms. But I just think it's interesting that they made a design for Tom so drastically different from the others, and for that reason and that reason alone, I can appreciate him a little. However, as it's already been established in this room, majority of the Toonami fan base hates Tom 4.
Yeah.
A lot even choose to not even acknowledge him. But he happened, y'all. He happened. Deal with it. But guess what?
What explains Tom 3 talking to Tom 4?
I'm getting to that.
I believe in you.
That happens years later. But yes, as of 2007, Tom 4, he also does not host Toonami by himself, but his assistant is not S.A.R.A. Instead, he's assisted by two robots that look a lot like himself. Next. Flash and D. Yeah, Flash kind of rolled around. What's interesting about Flash is that he's like on one wheel and just kind of goes around like a unicycle, like a bat out of hell. Whereas like D, I'm pretty sure, I couldn't find a picture of D's lower half, but pretty sure he's a hoverbot, just kind of like slowly bounces around. I don't think he has legs. I'm pretty sure he doesn't. The Absolution was also discontinued. Go back to Tom 4 because everybody loves him so much. The Absolution is also discontinued, And Toonami is broadcast from a grounded base on a dusty planet similar to Mars.
And he's back to 4 fingers.
Yes, he only has 4 fingers again. Now, the introduction and commercial bumpers remain. However, the motivational speeches and video game reviews have ceased. Also, Toonami's on weekdays after school, the midnight run, and the rising sun were all dropped, and Toonami was moved to Saturday afternoons only. Originally, it was 4 hours, a 4-hour block, still decent, but then on October 27th, 2007, not even a year after the transition to this Toonami, it was shortened to only 2 hours. Now, the shows that premiered under the reign of Tom 4 include Mega Man Star Force, One Piece The Funimation dub. There you go, now you can cheer. Stormhawks, Bakugan Battle Brawlers, Ben 10 Alien Force, and probably the best show to premiere under Tom 4 was Blue Dragon. Yeah. And sadly, even shortening to just 2 hours, it still couldn't save Toonami. September 20th, 2008 was a fateful, depressing day that our childhoods will never ever forget. It was the day that Toonami was canceled.
They killed it. It was the fact that it's
Went out with a bang.
Yeah, see, it just, I think a lot of it contributed just moving to Saturday afternoons. You know, a lot of us who had grown up on Toonami, you know, from the turn of the century, we were older now, we were now teenagers. And just, quite frankly, Saturday afternoons, there's better stuff to do than sit at home and watch anime, you know? Go out on dates, you know? I mean, you know, go play some video games with friends, you know? Have a good time.
More TV.
Yes. If you have to watch Toonami on a Saturday afternoon, do it socially. But I think also, yes.
You know how long Toonami Gesturing was around?
It was around for 3 years. I actually have the official dates at the end of this. Once I wrap up like Toonami as a TV special, I go into a thing called Extra Trivia, and Jetstream's included in that. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it was 3 years, but sit tight, I'll give you the exact dates. So on that fateful day, the 20th September 2008, rather than the usual spiel of Tom saying, "See you guys next week," there was actually a longer animation that lasted almost 3 minutes. Flash and Dee prepare the base for permanent shutdown. Meanwhile, Tom takes a heartful stroll outside the base and gives the following speech. Well, this is the end, beautiful friends. After more than 11 years, this is Toonami's final broadcast. It's been a lot of fun, and we'd like to thank each and every one of you who made this journey with us. Toonami wouldn't have been anything without you. Hopefully we've left you with some good memories. So until we meet again, stay gold. Bang. That final word, go ahead, you can applaud to that. You can applaud to that, go ahead. That was a hell of a way to go out. That final word, bang, was a nod to Spike Spiegel's final word before dying at the end of Cowboy Bebop. It's not a spoiler. Cowboy Bebop's like 15 years old. Spike dies. Deal with it.
There's kids here that are 15 that haven't seen it.
God. Call yourselves on top. Get out of here. Now, for 4 years, there was no Toonami. Until April 1st, 2012. Adult Swim airs a full Toonami block featuring the bumpers with Tom 3. Now, Adult Swim is famous for doing something really random and funny on the night of April Fool's Day. I'll never forget the one night they put fart noises to Full Metal Alchemist. I was like, it was the whole block, but I mean, just gluttony with fart sounds was so perfect.
They had a ghost in the shell that night.
The wheelchair up the stairs.
She was like, and then the main chick, she was like invisible. No, it was like the guy with the eyes. He was invisible, and every time he would just like move, the dog would start barking at him. He would like make a fart sound, and the dog would start barking at him.
I remember that.
It was great.
So yeah, Adult Swim was famous for pulling stunts like that, but 2012 was their best stunt ever because they just aired Toonami. Toonami was back. And it was the same bumpers that was used for Tom 3, the identical ones. And that night, the full block was as follows. Dragon Ball Z episode 191, Mobile Suit Gundam Wing episode 10, Tenchi Muyo Ryo Oki episode 19, so Outlaw Star episode 25, The Big O episode 1, Yu Yu Hakusho episode 110, Blue Submarine number 6 episode 1, Trigun episode number 23. Yeah, Trigun, because before that, that's interesting because Trigun was on Adult Swim but never on Toonami, yet here it was on Toonami. Astro Boy episode 1 and Gigantor episode 3. No 90 kids slept that night.
I had to work at 5 a.m.
I was late for work the next day.
I had work the next day too, but worth it. And well, you see, originally Adult Swim intended to be just that, an April Fool's joke. But that night, April 1st, 2012, Adult Swim experienced the highest ratings they had ever gotten in years.
Because they had been playing a bunch of crap before that. They got to where they were picking on anime and all that the whole time.
Exactly.
Everybody called their friends and was like, dude, Toonami's on. Everybody just...
That's how I found out. It was like halfway through the first show, and one of my girlfriends calls me, and she's like, "Put on Cartoon Network right now." I'm like, "Why? Toonami's on." "Get out, bitch." Click, 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 click. My childhood's back, y'all. Nostalgia trip. Screw sleep. That's for the week. I'm watching Toonami all night long. So anyway, as I was saying, Toonami and the Adult Swim, they realized they were onto something with these ratings. So the next day, on the Toonami Twitter, they posted, "Want it back? Let us know. Hashtag bring back Toonami." Flooded. The boards, yes, bring it back. We want it back. Stop playing the crap you've been playing for the past 4 years. Give us Toonami. So on April 4th, only 3 days after the initial tweet, Adult Swim released another one. Hashtag bring back Toonami. We've heard you. Thank you for your passion and interest. Stay tuned. On April 8th, Adult Swim aired 2 bumpers on their black and white text that you usually see Adult Swim with. It said, "We're listening and we're looking into it." May 16th, 2012, the return of Toonami is officially announced. May 26th, Toonami returns on the air. Hashtag Toonami is back, bitches. Scroll back to Tom 3. The revival. The new Toonami is geared towards an older fan base, with uncut action anime being aired on a late night block, through the night. And it's with uncut action anime and mostly unedited sexual content. It's blurred, but it's there. You know there's boobies behind that blur. They didn't put like...
You cannot watch Black Ball.
They didn't... Well, what did Dragon Ball do? They like conveniently put a stool in front of Kid Goku's wee-wee.
Yeah.
And, oh, let's not forget the can of tomato soup. Anybody remember that? Yeah, that's gone, okay? There's still some reasonable censorship, but crap like that is gone, yes.
Well, that's like Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! 4 kids took it. They, like, the cleavage, they, like, made the
The
clothes.
same goes for One Piece, honey. 4 Kids just butchers everything they touch, except for Ninja Turtles. Ninja Turtles is the one exception. 4 Kids did that right, but that's it. That's the only thing that good that came out of 4 Kids. So, pretty much in other words, this Toonami was made for the same, now older fan base of the original Toonami. Tom 3 was reintroduced as Tom 3.5. That's what he's officially called, but honestly, Tom 3.5 is Tom 3 in HD. He's better quality and he's shinier, but it's still Tom 3. And get this, Steve Blum returned to voice acting Tom at first without pay. That is how important the role of Tom was to Steve. Because Adult Swim was just now starting this and running this new Toonami trial on very little money, Steve Blum stepped forward and says, "I'm Tom.
Yeah!
You don't have to pay me, I'm Tom. Don't you dare give Tom to anybody else, I'm Tom." So they were like, Steve voiced Tom until Adult Swim was able to get enough money from the ratings to start paying him. I don't know exactly when they started paying him, but I know that he's being paid now. And also, Toonami brought back the motivational speeches and the video game reviews. Most notably, Tom 3.5 reviewed Slender.
Ah,
Did anyone see that? When Tom reviewed Slender? That was the only time that Toonami reviewed a non-profit internet download. It's never happened before. And that's how many fans of Slender found out about the game. I mean, I didn't know about the game Slender until Toonami reviewed it. And now it's a thing. I mean, there's a Slender Man walking around Louisianime somewhere. 2 of them? I saw the one that's a girl.
Question mark one, they have the classic one.
Well, the question mark is not Slender Man, that's 4chan. Yeah. Yeah.
That's my boy Anna.
So originally, running on little money, Toonami was brought back as a 3-hour block, starting at midnight, 11 p.m. for us, and running until 3 a.m., 2 a.m. for us. And then the same block, same episodes repeated up until the morning break. On September 26, 2012, Toonami's success allowed it to extend to the full 6 hours. And here is a list of shows that premiered under the reign of Tom 3.5. Now don't let this list confuse you, because a lot of these shows have been showing on Adult Swim for a long time. This is just the first time they were ever shown on Toonami. Bleach! Compared to some of the other cheers you gave, considering that there's 2 Bleach cosplayers sitting right in front of you, giving you all this entertainment, I think we're going to give that another try.
After Dust was kicked up.
Alright, let's try that again, shall we? Bleach! Oh, good. I'm glad y'all like Bleach. Dead Man Wonderland.
Great.
Casherin Sins.
Yeah.
Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex. Ghost in the Shell SAT Second Gig. Cowboy Bebop. Samurai 7. Eureka 7. Symbionic Titan. The 2011 reboot of Thundercats. I liked it too. That deserved more than one season. They could have gone places. Inuyasha. Tenchi Muyo GXP. Naruto Uncut. Oh, it's it. It's the end of the list. Sorry. Now, here's what a fella back there somewhere, you were talking about this. Was it you or was it somebody over there? It was you. I'm sorry. Now, something very peculiar happened in one of the commercial bumpers involving Tom 3.5. Tom 3.5 was talking to Tom 4 on a fuzzy video feed. Both Toms discuss that they will tell their stories someday, and Tom 4 tells Tom 3.5 that running Toonami is all to him now. This exchange implies that Tom 4 was a separate robot entirely and not a redesign of the original Tom programming. However, they're still yet to explain any of that. I'd like an explanation, but all we got is this one bumper. That's all we got.
Maybe it's a cousin.
He's a cousin? Tom 4 is a cousin?
I'm just saying maybe it's a cousin.
Maybe. Or maybe it's like Love Child, I don't know. Maybe like S.A.R.A. and Tom just got wasted on like engine oil and they threw some wrenches around and Tom 4. And he was dropping his head a few times, you know. S.A.R.A. Oh shit. I jumped ahead, sorry. So, you know, Toonami continued to be a success. So Adult Swim decided, you know what, we're ready for another redesign. So April 27th, 2013, again, with no transition story, Tom received another redesign. Tom 5, who continues to host Toonami present day. S.A.R.A. also returned on this date as S.A.R.A. version 3.0. Now, S.A.R.A. V3 is a combination of the 1 and 2 designs. Like the 1 design, she is ahead on the computer monitors, but her color scheme is that of the number 2 design. Now sadly, her original voice actress did not return, and now S.A.R.A. is voiced by Donna Swanson. Donna Swanson has another talent that I think y'all be interested in, but I'll get to that for the trivia. Go back to Tom 5, please. Now, again, you know, intro, bumpers, speeches, reviews, blah, blah. And this Tom 5 brought upon a first for Toonami. On January 4th of this year, 2014, with the premiere of Space Dandy, Toonami extends to 6.5 hours. This is the longest the Toonami block has ever been, ever. The animes to premiere under the reign of Tom 5 so far include Soul Eater, One Piece Uncut, Sword Art Online, Big O Season 2, Star Wars The Clone Wars, the CGI series, Funiculi, Space Dandy, Naruto Shippuden, Blue Exorcist, Black Lagoon, Attack on Titan, Beware the Batman. It's on like 3 a.m. And this one has not premiered yet, but it has been announced, coming later this year, Dragon Ball Z Kai Uncut.
No blue popo!
No Blue Popo! And this is where we stand today. Ladies and gentlemen, the history of Toonami. I also got a little bit of extra trivia to share with you all, and then I'll open to more Q&A. Now, as this fella brought up earlier, Toonami has streamed their shows online on 3 different occasions. First was Toonami Reactor in 2001, and then there was Toonami Jetstream from 2006 to 2009. And presently, you can watch Toonami shows on a subcategory on AdultSwim.com. Now here is that interesting bit of trivia that I want to tell you guys about Donna Swanson, the voice of S.A.R.A. 3. Donna Swanson, the present voice of S.A.R.A., also sang, "I like your booty, but I'm not gay."
Yeah!
movie, Aqua Teen Hunger Force: movie film for theaters.
Oh my God.
Yes, the Insano Flex and S.A.R.A. 3 are the same voice actress. And the last bit of trivia is something that I just added to this list a couple weeks ago because it just started happening a few weeks ago. Teaser bumpers have been airing about another Toonami special to be premiered next year in 2015, The Intruder 2. Dun dun dun. And that's it. Q&A time. Who has a question and wants, or like just wants to share something about Toonami that I missed? Anyone? Yes.
Toonami Intruder #1, we got a new voice actor.
Yes.
I'm afraid in #2 we're gonna get another voice actor.
You think Steve Blum will give it up after he did it for free for a while?
God, I hope not.
Come on, Steve wouldn't do that to us, man.
I doubt that. I mean, if Steve would voice Tom free of charge for like who knows how long, I don't think he's willing to give it up the role anytime soon.
But it happened once.
It happened once, but you see, Sonny Strait only did it for like not even 2 years, whereas Steve has done it since like 2001. So that is 13 years Steve Blum has been the voice of Tom. If you take out the 4 years there was Toonami, that's 9 years, but still. I don't think Steve will be letting go of Tom anytime soon. We might see a Tom 6, maybe, but it's still going to be Steve.
Tom 4.
Tom 3.5.
Yes, let's go back to Tom 4. Yay. Yes.
Was there any, did you find out any behind the scenes reasons of why it transitioned from Tom 3 to Tom 4?
Nothing. Tom 3 to Tom 4, we got nothing. How there's a Tom 3 and a Tom 4 separately, we have no explanation. And even Tom 3 into Tom 5, no explanation. Yeah, they say they're working on a comic, but where is it? Endgame premiered the same time that Tom 2 transitioned to Tom 3.
What I mean by that is not for story's sake, but like backstage executive decisions.
People suck.
I don't know, but I'm hoping to get explanation because we got like 3 Toms that have no backstory. So
Maybe they'll change her.
S.A.R.A., why'd you go back to S.A.R.A. too?
Look at that duck face. S.A.R.A. 2
You said I was your only woman.
This is job 2 like S.A.R.A. 3 is, alright?
No, you can't. Nobody makes you horny like I do. This is going off topic. All right, next question.
I got one.
Yes.
Okay, me and my friend have been arguing about this for years. I always said that back when Cartoon Network first started, because at midnight they used to play G-Force, original Speed Racer, original Astro Boy. I always thought that was kind of like their way of trying to test the waters with Japanese animation before actually doing all that. Would you agree with that or not?
I would agree, because I know the older an anime is, the cheaper it is to air. That's why you see shows like Cowboy Bebop being, rerun again and again and again. Yet shows like Dead Man Wonderland, Samurai 7, they had one run by Sword Art Online, same thing. So because those are new, they're very expensive to air. So they just show it through once, and they know new episodes, we're going to get a lot of ratings. But once the reruns start, the ratings for that show is going to go down, and it won't be as beneficial. Whereas old shows, they don't care because they're so cheap. Yes?
Do you remember the specials like Midnight Run, Special Edition, and New Year's Evil?
I do. Like when they showed music videos by Daft Punk and Gorillaz. That was good, yes. I can't give you guys an exact date, but I know it was Tom 2 that did it. It was a special edition of Midnight Run. It was a Friday night, and rather than a 1 hour block of anime, they did a 1 hour block of animated music videos. They did 4 by Daft Punk, 3 by Gorillaz, and I forget the name of the artist, but the song was called Hellbent, and it was like these creepy claymation aliens. I mean, it was intriguing, but I don't know, it just didn't fit with the others. Yes, Kareem in the back.
I remember they had special times where they played movies, animes.
Yes, I remember there was a month of Miyazaki where they played Miyazaki I'm pretty sure that was under Tom 3's reign, but don't hold me to that. And it was like every week. And they brought back movies. I remember December was the month of movies for the Toonami that we know now. Stop putting it back to S.A.R.A. Put it back to Tom 5. God.
At least he was
There.
like he went as it progressed. He went from baby to curl bro to chest bro to I just lost everything. It's like he was a shit.
I don't know. I like this. I mean, yeah, he's.
No, I'm saying he does.
Well, hey.
He does full body.
Hey. Let me ask you this: Tom 5 or Tom 4?
Four.
What?
Or someone in a suit.
No,
All right.
3. I thought you were not from
No, 4. The face.
It needs just a little bit more color.
Well, I mean, I also look at it as a darker Tom for a darker audience. We're all twisted. We all have a sixth sense of humor. Why not Tom? You know? Anyone else have a question? No way? Go for it. Going back to what? Cyphicon? I think you're confusing me with somebody else. I've never been to Cyphicon. I am not D. But I'm very flattered that you mistook me for D. Thank you. I just got mistaken for a guest of the con. Yeah.
I was just giving bad information.
D is, last I saw him, he's wearing a long blonde wig and kind of like this red, stylish. It's not a kimono, it's just a jacket, but it kind of looks like a kimono. So, yeah. Anybody else got a question? What time do we have? Do we have time for the intruder? Or at least part of it?
Yeah.
All right. We're going to show the intruder special until we get kicked out of here.
The first one.
Is there sound though? Let me see. Hang on. Well, but it means they can't hear that. Let me see. Where's the speaker on your laptop? Anything? No. There? Somewhere. You guys hear anything? No?
I wish you was still here.
Yeah. Anything?
Little bit.
Right there.
What does she know? They're not even together.
Okay, we're watching Intruder now. Bye-bye.